Welcome to News Beacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Picture a massive cargo ship docking in Taiwan, loaded with thousands of boxes of California avocados. The importers, Chiaowei Enterprise Company and Ormart Marketing Company, expected a routine delivery. But in May 2025, things took a turn. Taiwan's Food and Drug Administration inspectors arrived, not just checking for bruises but for something invisible: heavy metals. Samples from the 4,000 kilogram shipment were sent to a lab. The results: the avocados contained cadmium above Taiwan's legal limit. The entire shipment was rejected, no entry, no sales. The fruit was either sent back or destroyed, a major financial blow for both American growers and Taiwanese importers. This wasn't a simple mistake, it was a wake-up call for the global fruit industry. Different countries have different food safety rules. What's safe in one place can be banned in another. This single rejection set off a chain reaction, closing the door for US avocados and opening it for someone else. Farmers and governments were forced to reconsider their standards. The story of these avocados is about more than fruit. It's about trust, science, and the high stakes of international trade. A shipment stopped at the port became a symbol of a much bigger problem. The fallout would reshape the avocado market in ways no one expected. For the US, it was a costly lesson. For the world, it was a sign of things to come. The problem was cadmium, a heavy metal found in the US avocados, above Taiwan's strict legal limit. Taiwan's government enforces tough food safety rules, and when the tests failed, they had no choice but to reject the shipment. The importers, Chiaowei and Ormart, were hit with increased inspections. Up to 50% of future shipments could be tested. One failed test meant long-term consequences: higher costs, damaged reputations, and more risk. This wasn't the first time. In 2021, Taiwan stopped 2 US avocado shipments for the same reason. In 2022, 28 US agricultural shipments were rejected or destroyed. There's a clear pattern. US farming practices often clash with Taiwan's strict import rules. Taiwan's message was clear: they won't compromise on food safety, no matter the source. For American growers, Taiwan suddenly became a tough market to access. The immediate loss was sales, but the bigger problem was uncertainty. If they couldn't guarantee their avocados would pass, was it worth the risk? This opened the door for a new supplier. The market was up for grabs, and Mexico was ready. Cadmium is a heavy metal found naturally in soil. Plants absorb it as they grow. It's more common in some regions like California, where most US avocados are grown. Cadmium can build up in the body over time, causing health problems. That's why countries set limits for cadmium in food. Here's the twist. The US avocados were safe by World Health Organization standards. Levels were far below the global limit. But Taiwan's rules are much stricter. Why? Rice. Taiwanese diets are heavy in rice, which absorbs cadmium easily. To keep total cadmium intake low, Taiwan enforces tough limits on all foods, including imports. US growers argue their fruit is safe, and by global standards, they're right. But Taiwan looks at the whole diet, not just one product. This difference in perspective is the heart of the dispute. It's not about bad farming, it's about different definitions of safe. When national standards clash, even the best fruit can be left on the dock. The result: a trade standoff with no easy solution, and a market suddenly up for grabs. As US avocados were blocked, Mexico saw its chance. Taiwan's demand for avocados didn't disappear. Someone had to fill the gap. Mexico, the world's top avocado producer, moved fast. Mexican exporters connected with Taiwanese buyers, confident their fruit would pass the strict cadmium tests. They didn't just offer a few shipments, they aimed to dominate the market. The result: billion-dollar contracts that made Mexico Taiwan's main supplier. For Mexico, it meant more jobs and a stronger economy. For Taiwan, it meant a steady supply of avocados. For the US, it was a major loss. Mexico didn't just fill a gap, it built a long-term relationship. The market had shifted, and the US was left behind. Mexico's quick action turned a competitor's setback into a strategic victory. The lesson in global trade: agility wins, and the stakes are enormous. The US and Mexico have very different systems for avocado safety. In California, growers focus on quality and do sample testing for heavy metals. But cadmium levels can vary, even from tree to tree, making it hard to guarantee every shipment will pass strict foreign tests. The US system works for most countries, but not for places like Taiwan with ultra-low limits. Mexico, by contrast, has built a centralized, export-focused system. Their industry invests heavily in quality control, tracking every detail from farm to shipping. Mexican exporters know the rules for each market and adapt quickly. They can select fruit from regions with lower cadmium for sensitive markets. Their system is robust and flexible, designed to meet the strictest demands. That's how they secured those billion-dollar deals in Taiwan. The US relies on broad safety standards. Mexico targets specific requirements. In a world of diverse regulations, targeted verification wins. The difference is clear. Adaptability is the new standard for global success. The US must evolve or risk losing more markets. The competition is only getting tougher. The avocado story isn't unique. Trade disputes over food safety happen worldwide. In July 2025, the US blocked Indian mangoes for pesticide residues above American limits. The rejected mangoes flooded Indian markets, causing prices to drop and hurting farmers' profits. These incidents show how quickly fortunes can change when countries enforce different standards. As global trade grows, so do these conflicts. Every nation wants to protect its citizens, but mismatched rules create risk and uncertainty for exporters. Perfectly good food can go to waste or lose value. The need for better communication and harmonized standards is clear. Without it, costly rejections will keep happening. Farmers and businesses pay the price for regulatory gaps. The lesson: global trade is as much about politics and science as it is about produce. The stakes are high for everyone in the supply chain. And the next dispute is always just a shipment away. When fruit is rejected, the impact ripples far beyond the port. California growers lose months of work and a key source of income. Exporters and importers face financial losses and strained business relationships. Taiwanese importers scramble to find new suppliers, risking empty shelves and angry customers. Shoppers see higher prices or different fruit in stores, Mexican avocados replacing American ones. In the US, rejected avocados may flood the domestic market, briefly lowering prices but hurting long-term profits. The trade dispute redraws the global food map: who buys from whom, and at what price. A single lab test can change a farmer's future, a business's strategy, and what ends up on your plate. The effects are personal, economic, and global. Every link in the chain feels the shock. The story isn't just about avocados, it's about livelihoods and choices. The fallout is real, and it touches us all. One rejection can change the world's menu. Meet John, a third-generation California avocado farmer. His orchard is his family's legacy and main income. He works hard, follows all safety rules, and takes pride in his fruit. Taiwan was a reliable, profitable market, until the cadmium rejection. John did nothing wrong. Cadmium is naturally in his soil. Now his export contracts are gone and he must sell at lower prices at home. He worries about the future. Will other countries adopt strict rules too? The uncertainty is stressful. Should he keep farming avocados? John's story is the human side of global trade disputes. Farmers like him are caught between nature and international regulations. Support from industry groups helps, but there's no easy fix. His future depends on how governments and industries solve these complex problems. The stakes are personal and profound. For John, the world's rules start right under his feet. The Taiwan rejection and Mexico's win mark a turning point in avocado trade. Success now depends on meeting complex, ever-changing safety standards. Mexico's adaptability gave it the edge. The US must catch up or fall further behind. Advanced testing and new farming methods may be needed to meet strict rules. Trade agreements could shift with countries forming clubs of similar standards. For consumers, supply chains are resilient for now, but future disputes could mean price swings and shortages. The avocado's journey is more complicated than ever. This story is a preview of a larger trend: food trade shaped by science, politics, and trust. The winners will be those who adapt fastest. For farmers, businesses, and shoppers, the rules of the game are changing. The global market is in flux. Every shipment is a test of compliance and strategy. The future of your avocado toast depends on what happens next. In the 21st century, food is about more than taste. It's about navigating a world of rules.